The Secret of the King. A long time ago there was a very generous king with his kingdom, which was called Bossa. One day a tramp came to his door who claimed to have a prophecy about the future of the kingdom of Bossa and how everything could be destroyed if the kingdom did not give in return what he loved most, his son and heir, who was still in the queen's womb.
The wanderer reminded the king that such a price was due what he once swore with an evil witness star, all to gain power and wealth. The king cried and prayed and told the twain that he had destroyed that wish. However, his death remained as the witch before she died cast a spell on him and his entire kingdom with a terrible curse, which was about to be fulfilled right at the birth of her son, which she was to give in return for the welfare of her kingdom.
The king began asked the vagabond if he had any choice not to lose his son. The smiling vagabond knew with great cunning that the king was very generous and passive with his people, so he told the king that, in exchange for his son, his soul had over all his kingdom and wealth. The confused king asked the vagabond for 2 days to make a decision, for if he gave up his kingdom, it would be plunged into misery.
The desperate king consulted his magicians and advisors without finding a solution, asked his soldiers to go to nearby kingdoms in search of answers to his problem. But as time passed, the king became convinced that the best solution would be to give up his son.
After 2 days, the king already had his answer. He could give his only son instead to preserve his prosperous kingdom. However, they still had to wait for the queen to give birth. After a couple of months, the tramp received the baby in his arms and immediately left the kingdom without a trace.
That same night, one of the king's magicians had a vision where he saw that in really the king's son would be the one who would put an end to the curse that the witch cast. It was all a time trick to take the baby away from the kingdom and take it to the witch so that she would murder him so that she could whip up all the kingdoms. The enraged king sent his war in search of his son and commanded the other kingdoms to join him in his quest.
The king knew that the way from his kingdom to the place where the witch was was far away and the tram could not go far with a baby in his arms. The king's guard rode all night in search of the wanderer who would later be seen by soldiers from a neighboring kingdom. This caught the tramp, but behold the surprise! The baby was not with him. They looked up and interrogated the vagrant for an answer on the baby's whereabouts, but the vagrant said nothing.
The next day arrives, and the tramp decides to speak, stating that what he had done was only an act of compassion with the king, since he knew what the witch intended with the baby, and so he had to take it out of that kingdom in order to hide it from the witch, for she had long showed her that the baby must be killed at the time of her birth, so that she could conquer every kingdom.
If the baby survived that night, he could have the power to end the evil that was cast into his father's kingdom. The Trump knew the baby would be safe and decided to share with the kingdom the location of his precious son. The Trump had left the baby in a burrow outside his kingdom to hide it from that cruel witch.
A few days later, the king, with his baby in his heart, tells his kingdom that his son is out of danger and that while they are alive, no one will be able to cross their falls or them any harm. Finally, this has been the history of the king and his beloved son.